What's up, guys? Good morning. No Class Garage here. So today we are out on a call to work on a Genie s-40 man lift, and the problem that we're having is turntable rotation. So no turntable rotation function. So getting in here, first thing we're gonna do is start her up. Pull your e-stop, hit the start switch. It's running, so you're gonna use your foot switch. And this is, see, no function. You hear that? Okay, once you get to that, there's an alarm. You unbolt these, couple bolts right here. Flip this thing up. You see the flash? See the flashing? What you're gonna do is you're gonna count the red flash and then the yellow flash. You got a diagram over here. See if my camera will focus. The diagram over there that pretty much shows you what the numbers mean and what kind of flashes you're looking at. Right, so you want to check your connections here. Make sure, sometimes, these things are old, they vibrate. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy. I've already figured out what the issue with this one was. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you. But normally you would start right here, you'll test to make sure you're getting proper voltage out of this as you use the function. Make sure your pigtail's plugged in properly in there. As long as that's all hooked up and you're getting the proper voltage and everything, you know there's no problem from here all the way up to the unit. Okay, because it all plugs in. The next thing you're gonna do, I'm gonna show you where it all plugs in. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna come right here and you're gonna just double check all these connections. Just gonna make sure everything is nice and tight and plugged in right, and you don't see no loose dirt or anything like that, you know, messing them up. But another thing that you're gonna check, okay, you're gonna come over here. There's your valve block. All these solenoids right here is what runs all these functions. So I'm not exactly sure which one's which, but say you'll have basket rotation, you'll have tilt, you'll have up, down with the boom, boom in, boom out, all that stuff is gonna be right here. So what I noticed on this one when I was messing with it, customer complained that it just stops randomly. These things are old, and like as you can see, we're out in the desert. So they're running over bumps. These things are bumpy. These guys are a little rude to them. They kind of beat them down a little bit. So they make them hard to keep everything in line and everything plugged in where it is with all the vibration and the bumps. But what I noticed is I come here, first thing I do to skip all the diagnosing, even though you should diagnose, I just come here and just double check. Make sure everything's plugged in. Everything's nice and tight. Right, all these plugs. You want to double check, because see right here, this one's going to be the one we're looking for. These two is the basket rotation, and this, you see that? Plugged in a little bit. Just barely, it's a little bit out. Is where these popped up. The clip's not really getting all the way down in there. So it's going to pop back out again as it runs. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull these clips out. You see all the dirt that came out with it? You look down in there, see all that grime in there? All that grime is what's causing us not to clip in all the way. This dirt right here. Clear out that. So you're gonna wanna wipe this down, clean it out, and then try to plug it back in and see if it goes all the way down to the clip point. That seems a lot more solid. So what happens is they hit bumps, and these little plugs right here, they pop up, and then you lose connection to the solenoid. It's not letting it go. There's other things that could happen too, like pressures. Here's your test port, so you can test port right there. You can also adjust the pressures and everything. There's adjusters on it where you can make it go faster, slower, more fluid come out, more fluid go in. One of them is going to be right there. You just loosen the jam nut and adjust that outer Allen bolt, just that, and that'll make it give it more fluid or less fluid. So there's another one right here. This is your main, so this is probably going to go to the ones that we're using, but you don't really want to mess with those unless you know exactly what you're doing and you have a meter on it, or the pressure gauge I meant. So there's that. Let's try it again now that I wiggled these plugs around, and we're gonna see if this fixes the issue. This has been ongoing. I wish you guys would have been here. I should have been on this a lot sooner, but it's taken me a few times of coming out here to figure out that little bit of a problem. But let's just double check again to make sure it all works. See that? Now I have function. All because one little connection rather loose. I mean, it could cause you to buy a whole bunch of parts and be diagnosing for hours. So if you want, just skip a couple steps and just check those things first, just for peace of mind, to know that you're not wasting your time on anything else. I know there's not much on these things online or anything, but I'm gonna try to get more videos of doing diagnosing and stuff like that and help people out. That was a pretty easy one for the day. I'll keep you guys updated. Hopefully start making a lot more content, a lot more videos. Hopefully get you guys, follow me around a little bit more. Maybe show you what my day's like every day. Sometimes it's different, sometimes it's crazy, sometimes it's pretty wild. So if you guys do me a favor, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.